Hey, what's going on? It's Gage here from the Football Friends podcast. And today we have had a match between Arsenal and Brentford, where Arsenal were victorious with a 3-0. But one of the interesting parts of this was Arsenal's Ethan Nwaneri becomes the youngest Premier League player, 15 years old, to make his debut. So that's pretty crazy. I didn't even realize that that was possible. I thought you had to be 16, but apparently not. So he was 15 years and 181 days when he made his debut. I think he subbed on in like the 92nd minute or something like that. So just played a couple minutes, but yeah, this record was previously held by Harvey Elliott, who was 16 or something like that. But so Harvey Elliott was 16 years and 30 days. So it's actually it's like almost 6 months. There's almost 6 months difference there. So 15 years, 15 and a half years is pretty crazy. Like that's so young. Imagine, like, what were you up to when you were 15 and a half? You weren't, I bet you weren't playing for Arsenal. I mean, this is the only one person who's done it. So yeah. And so Arteta said he trained with us a couple of times and just had a feeling yesterday that if the opportunity came, I would do it. So it sends a strong message about who we are in the club. I told him yesterday he would be with us and he has to be ready, and he is ready. When he came out, I said congratulations and enjoy it. We want to give opportunities when there is talent and personality, when players love what they do, and when they have no fear. The doors are open for them to explore where they can go. So yeah, very cool. I think this is very cool. 15 and a half. Good on you, Ethan Nwaneri. That's very impressive. And so I have this list here of the 10 youngest Premier League players ever. So, starting off at number 10, we have Jack Robinson, who was a Liverpool player, and he made his debut at 16 and 250 days. And so he only actually made 3 league appearances for Liverpool, but then eventually transferred out and so on, and played quite well for Sheffield United when they were in the Premier League. So okay, but they've just been relegated and so on. So, yep. And then next up, Reese Oxford. I recognize a lot of these names from Football Manager and FIFA and stuff like that, and so because it's unsurprisingly, like, a lot of these names actually sort of just completely dropped off, and so Reese Oxford is kind of one of them. So so this was a West Ham player. He made his debut at 16 years and 236 days. When Slaven Bilic was in charge of West Ham, and so he made seven appearances for Hammers, and then now he plays for Augsburg in Germany. So not a complete drop off, but that's it. Oh, my background removal doesn't like it when I wear black, apparently. So and then Gary Mccheffery from Coventry, 16 years and 198 days. So 099, never scored a Premier League goal, and returned to top flight Birmingham in 2007-2008 season, and only needed 3 times in 37 Premier League appearances. Still had a Premier League career somewhat, not too bad. And Rushian Hepburn Murphy for Aston Villa, 16 years and 198 days. It's actually a tie. Maybe they'll go down to the hours and minutes. I'll be looking at like their birth certificate. So yeah, made his debut for Aston Villa, and he'd only make he made 2 Premier League appearances for Aston Villa, and so he currently plays for Swindon in League 2. And then Jose Baxter, a name that some of you may be familiar with. I certainly remember this guy. So he was actually a boyhood Liverpool fan, but he ended up in the Everton Academy, and so he's still Everton's youngest ever player to debut. And so he was 16 years and 191 days. And then so he apparently was, he played in lower leagues and stuff and had a drug ban for a year, and then ended up retiring at the age of 29 and admitting that he hadn't fulfilled his potential. Yeah, and so Aaron Lennon, probably one of the most well-known names out of this list. He was for Leeds, 16 years and 129 days. He then went on to have a career at Tottenham, and quite well known for that, and Everton and so on. And so he made 266 Premier League appearances for Spurs and 21 England caps. So that's probably one of the more successful ones in this list, I would say. And then Izzy Brown is a I believe he was a Chelsea player. Yeah, it says that he made 2 Premier League appearances, and it must have been for West Brom. So, yeah, subbed on for West Brom. He was 16 years and 117 days, and then he joined Chelsea in that summer, but only so one for West Brom, one for Chelsea, and then he left in June 2021. So after 7 loans. Okay, so didn't exactly work out there. And then so Matthew Briggs for Fulham, 16 years and 98 days. And so 2 Fulham players in this list, Matthew Briggs. And then, so it says, came through. Now he plays for non-league Go Sport Borough. So Guyana International, made 12 appearances for the Cottagers in the top flight, and then released in 2014. So another one, and then a more well-known one, we have Harvey Elliott, who is a Liverpool player at the moment, and he's sort of first-team Liverpool player at the moment, possibly due to a few injuries, but still good player. And so Harvey Elliott came along and had his debut at Fulham as well. Sorry, and then he's still only 19, so this wasn't even that long ago. He was 16 years and 30 days, so that's just over 16 in 1 month. That's pretty young. And and he's only 19 and playing for Liverpool now. So somehow one of the more successful ones in this list. And then finally we have our guy, Ethan Nwaneri today. So 15 years and 181 days. He beats the record by 6 months, basically, which is pretty crazy. So yeah, full credit. He's 15. Oh my God. So what? Must be born in like 2006 or something like. That's crazy. So it says that he was born 8 months after the Emirates Stadium opened. And so because of this, he's knocked Arsenal man Jack Wilshere out of the list. He was 10 before, and now I guess Jack Wilshere is 11th. So yeah, full credit to Ethan Nwaneri. 15 years and 181 days. That's so impressive. I was probably just playing FIFA when I was 15, so it's pretty crazy to see what you can achieve before your 16th birthday. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say. I found this youth list very interesting. Like, many of these players did not actually go on to do great things. You would think that all of the best players in the world and stuff were amazing from a young age and made early debuts and had a crazy career and stuff like that, but it doesn't seem to be the case. Sometimes you can start real early and then completely drop off. So interesting. I found that quite fascinating. So yeah, that's all I want to say on that. Anyway, thanks for tuning into the Football Friends podcast. Like and subscribe, tell your friends, and all that jazz, and I'll catch you next time. Cheers.